Well, once again, I should be going to sleep, but I am up posting a video. Then again, I did sleep half the evening, so I guess that kind of makes up for it, and hopefully I'm not like overstimulating myself, and I can go to bed soon after this. But I did want to talk about something, and I'm posting it so that somebody could be encouraged. Eventually I'll upload all these videos. There's like 3, I think, now that I didn't get a chance to upload because I did them so late at night around this time. Anyway, so I'm thinking, and this is about stigma. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm still not feeling 100%. I'm still not feeling myself. And it's so hard because it's like, I just want to shake myself and be like, just get yourself together. Because I've heard that. I've heard a lot of people say that, in not so many words and in those words, I guess. And it's like, it's hard because it makes me feel guilty. It feels like, I did something wrong. But it's literally, for me, like, the majority of the issue is a chemical thing. It's not something that I can control. But I feel guilty having to, like, go to doctors and having to, like, figure out what's gonna work and everything. Because, in the back of my mind, there's that doubt, like, what if you're just not fighting like you should? What if you're being lazy? What if you're just not praying enough? What if you're just not taking authority? Or what if you're, what if your faith just isn't there? You just gotta renew your mind. Or like, be anxious for nothing. Okay? But I'm gonna be anxious sometimes. Or, encourage yourself in the Lord. I'm like, I do that, but I still don't feel good sometimes. But I know myself. I know when I'm struggling with something. I know when it gets to that point, and I have my good days and bad days, but I know when it gets to the point where, even though I'm going to work, I'm going to church, I'm doing what I gotta do, but I know how I feel, and I'm very good at, like, hiding it sometimes. Not really intentionally, but whatever. I've gotten really good at that. Anyway, that's a story for another day. But anyway, yeah, I feel so guilty, and I think that's part of the depression. I always call it, like, meta-depression, like, feeling depressed about feeling depressed. I just feel so bad, but it's not my fault. I have to remind myself it's not my fault, and I'm doing the best that I can, and I'm trying to feel better, and I'm trying to do things to get better, and to bring myself back to normal, or what I could be or should be, which I hate to use the word should, because you shouldn't use the word should. It's like, whose expectations are you listening to? But it's hard to not feel guilty, especially in the faith community. But that's where renewing my mind comes in. That's where grace comes in, and love. And I know that God is with me because He's told me a million times. And even today, He showed me over and over again. He's not upset with me or whatever, but I get upset and I feel bad. But this is the point that I want to make, because I'm laying here feeling bad, and I'm like, and feeling guilty about, like, trying to get help. And then I say, if I had a broken leg, would I feel bad going to the doctor? Would I feel, like, guilty about having to go to the doctor? Or going to physical therapy? Or, things like that. Like, would I feel like, well, maybe a broken leg I would have caused by, like, stupidity or something, I don't know. But you know what I'm trying to say, right? Like, why do we feel so guilty about an emotional thing? Why do we feel like an emotional thing it's hard because sometimes we can control our emotions, or we should, but sometimes it's literally like there definitely is a chemical component for a lot of it. If you've been in my shoes, if you've been, like the doctor told me, you've been depressed all your life, and like I never really realized that, and I shared that in other videos, but like if you consistently don't feel right, or you just can't get it together, maybe it's something chemical. If you're doing everything that you're doing, that you're trying to do, that you should do, whatever, and your actions alone, or going to therapy, or talking to someone, or going to church just isn't enough, maybe it's time to try some medication. Maybe it's a chemical thing. And that's like, there's been times where, because everybody says, like, don't confess how you feel. Or feelings aren't facts. Or, speak faith, don't speak death. Or, don't speak how you feel, because then you're going to confess it and it's going to come to pass. But if I'm sad, I'm sad. If I'm nervous, I'm nervous, and I can't deny it, and denying it is not going to help me. I had to be real honest with myself, with the doctors, with, whoever I had to be honest with, and be like, I don't feel good, because it's like, when you see a doctor, it's like, oh, how you doing? I'm good. Well, if you're dying, you're not gonna get the help that you need. And so if you're dying emotionally, or going through something emotionally, and you act like everything's okay, how are you gonna get the help you need? And why should we feel guilty talking about how we feel emotionally, but we wouldn't feel that way if we were, if we got hurt physically? So, like, there's been times where I didn't feel good physically, and I was like, oh, it's just a cold, or just allergies, and even that, people be like, don't confess it. But I tried to just rest and drink tea and whatever, and I wasn't getting better, and like a week later, I went to the doctor and I had like bronchitis. Whereas if I would have not made myself feel guilty for going to the doctor, I probably could have gotten some medicine right away and felt better and avoided having to miss work or whatever. So it's like a delicate balance, right? Because it just is, there are times where, yes, you should speak faith, and yes, you shouldn't always say how you're feeling, and, you don't want to make, I don't know, it's hard, but, if you don't feel good, you don't feel good. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing to feel guilty about, but, especially in the faith community, and I'm not blaming anyone, but, because I know people have the best of intentions, and everybody wants you to feel good, they don't want you, but, we, have to change the culture, or the society of, how we feel, the stigma behind mental health. And I thought about it today, and I was like, I really want to be an advocate, and educate people on, mental health. Like I said, I think I said in this video, like, that's for another video, but, man, I really want to do it, and I'm going to start praying about it more, and get her done, because I'm so frustrated with the way that, people handle crisis and mental health. Like, it's ridiculous. And I think it's because I work, I'm trained in crisis intervention, so I know better. And I'm not being like, oh, I know better. No, but I've learned a lot, and I've learned a lot by being in my own crises. So, I don't know. That's what I had to say today. That's about it. Bye.